begin the canvas, I'm going to start by applying some paint, and I've got some blue and some green for my background. I'm going to water it down so that it makes a nice watery effect. Now I'm just mixing in the green, and again you can see that I've just not too careful with my strokes, so I don't want it to be flat. And again I'm going to paint the edges. Sketch of a tree that I would like to use for the centre of my canvas, and I have some brown cardstock that I've cut, and I find that it helps me to have a rough guide as to the direction that I'd like to go in. So I'm going to cut this out, and then I'm going to Mod Podge it into place. So I'm just going to do that right now. trees, and I do like the script or the stamps appearing through the image. I decided that I would do the stamping after I had put the trees. So I do have my script stamped, and I'm just going to do some of that stamping now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp so that the script will appear, and you'll see some of it appear through the actual image. So I'm just randomly stamping, and I'm actually going to stamp on the tree so that it adds a bit of texture. The next thing I'm going to do now is to add the leaves, and I've already cut the leaves out, and what I like to do is I like to place them on my project before I actually glue them down, just to give myself an idea of positioning. So I've got quite a few leaves, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink the edges, and then I'm going to apply some extra colour to them just to add some tones, and I'm going to be doing that with some inks and also with gelatos, and I'll be doing that right at the end. So I think I've got enough. I may have to add a few extras. I've got two sizes to work with, and I'm quite happy with that position. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink the edges, and I've got a green ink. Once I Mod Podge them, then I'm going to go over with some gelatos, and that will give some extra tone. So I'm going to do that right now. So what I'm doing is I'm just going around the edges with this green ink. Before I actually apply it with, or secure it into place with Mod Podge. I'm going to continue with that, and then I'm going to apply the glue them down with Mod Podge. So I'll be back in a moment. I've just finished inking the edges of my leaves, and I'm about to Mod Podge them into place. So you always apply glue to the back and then to the front. So for this, I'm just going to put Mod Podge onto the back. And then on top to seal everything into place. I'm going to do that for all of the leaves. has some really interesting effects. So I'm just going to do a little blob, and you can see how you can start to blend and add some shading. So I'm going to do that to all the leaves. Really get a nice effect with little effort, just a bit of time, that's all it needs. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to go around the edge of the tree, and I'm going to outline it in black, and I'm going to do exactly the same thing, and that'll just make the tree stand out even more, add some definition to it. I don't mind if I go slightly off the lines either, because imperfection is my thing. And I also find that it adds a extra shadow, so sometimes the effect, although unintentional, is really really pleasing. So with these thinner branches, I'm just finding that one side is sufficient. Both sides, you don't really need to have the shading on both sides, and that just really gives added dimension to the actual tree. Just going over that just to make it a little bit darker. And the gelatos have really given extra depth to this tree now, and really make it stand out. So I'm just going to add a few extra touches, and I'll show you the finished canvas in just a minute. I'll just add 2 more touches to the canvas. I die cut some butterflies, and I've applied them again with some Mod Podge, and once I dried the Mod Podge, I added again some gelatos just to add a little bit of colour, and I went around it with a pen just to add some definition, and I did a little bit of doodling, and again I did some doodling here on the side. I actually stamped a sentiment from a stamp set that I had, and I just used some of the words here that I thought would be inspirational and fitting. So I just chose live and enjoy life. So that's all. I might decide to add a few more pieces or embellishments to this canvas, but essentially that's all that I'm going to add at this point. So thanks so much for watching, and I hope that you'll give this a try. Thanks so much.